Emergency alert. America's government just slammed the door shut, leaving 750,000 workers penniless overnight. But here's the hidden crisis Wall Street's ignoring. In DC's red-hot real estate empire, this isn't just chaos. It's your next fire sale on luxury homes. Will you seize the deal or choose or watch prices crash 15%? Stay locked in. This could rewrite your portfolio right now. First, a stark primer. A government shutdown isn't a tidy office holiday. It's fiscal Armageddon. Under the US Constitution, Congress must approve 12 annual spending bills to fuel the federal beast. Miss the deadline, as they did on September 30th, 2025, and the money spigot snaps off at midnight. Non-essential operations grind to a halt. Parks shutter, research pauses. 750,000 civil servants face furloughs without pay. Essential workers, like border agents and air traffic controllers, soldier on unpaid, a grim echo of the 35-day 2018-2019 nightmare. Back pay comes eventually, but the immediate sting, billions in lost productivity, rippling through everyday lives. Now the powder keg behind October 2025's implosion. Picture this. Fiscal year 2026 dawns on October 1st, but Congress, gridlocked in a partisan cage match, fails to pass a lifeline. The spark? President Trump's aggressive push for efficiency via rescissions, clawing back billions from prior deals, targeting what he calls Democrat bloat in health agencies and green programs. Democrats, led by Chuck Schumer, dig in against these slashes, demanding extensions for Affordable Care Act subsidies aiding 22 million Americans and reversals to Medicaid cuts. A House-passed clean continuing resolution, dead on Senate arrival, lacking the 60 votes amid filibuster threats. Trump's team, including OMB Director Russell Vought, weaponizes the lapse. No temporary band-aid, they're eyeing permanent layoffs in non-essential roles to force concessions. Blame game intensifies. Republicans finger Democrats' wish list items like abortion funding. Dems counter with Trump's deadwood purge, echoing Elon Musk's Doge cuts earlier this year that axed 300,000 jobs. By day 2, out-of-office emails turn political battlegrounds, with education department staff gagged by partisan tweaks. This isn't brinkmanship, it's brink of recession theater, the third shutdown in Trump's era, costing the economy $18 billion last time alone. Zoom in on the epicenter, Washington, D.C.'s metro area, where 14% of the workforce, over 300,000 souls, draw federal paychecks. This shutdown isn't abstract. It's a gut punch to real estate, already wobbling from Doge's earlier bloodbath. Short-term chaos, FHA and VA loan processing crawls to a halt, delaying hundreds of closings weekly. The National Flood Insurance Program, frozen solid, no new policies, sidelining 1-400 sales daily in flood-prone zones like Alexandria and Bethesda. Furloughed feds, facing October 15's missed payday, hit pause on moves. Buyers, ghost viewings, sellers/asks to lure non-federal cash. Echoes of 2019's 35-day siege, inventory surged 20%, sales plunged 50% in DC proper, prices flatlined as fear froze the market. But 2025 amps the dread. Trump's RIF threats, reductions in force, could turn temporary furloughs permanent, flooding listings in hotspots like Arlington, Federal Commuter Haven, and Silver Spring. Experts like Bright MLS's Lisa Sturtevant warn prolonged pain means year-over-year price drops of 5 to 15%, more equity-rich sellers holding pat while job-tied buyers bail. Ripple to entrepreneurs, contractors and non-profits, Fed-dependent echo the layoffs, reduced demand hits luxury condos hardest, but savvy investors eye bargains in a supply glut. So, shutdown silver lining for the bold. A buyer's paradise in DC's turmoil, snag deals before the rebound. But for federal families and builders, brace for the squeeze. Congress, clock's ticking. End this farce. If you're navigating this storm, entrepreneurs, investors, Fed workers, hit subscribe for real-time real estate intel. Comment your shutdown survival tip below. This is your edge in uncertain times. Act now. Use this hook matrix to craft viral openers for business and real estate. Crash alert, only 24 hours to protect your assets. Insider deal, entrepreneurs are snapping these up. Don't get left out. Shutdown hits tomorrow. Your business could be exposed. Wealth hack, the 3-step flip turning furloughs into fortunes. Screw the panic, defy the dip, and build big. What if the engine that powers Washington grinds to a halt and your home value drops overnight? This is the story behind the October 2025 government shutdown and how it could shake the DC housing market to its foundation. First, let's explain the basics. A government shutdown occurs when Congress fails to pass appropriation bills or a continuing resolution before the funding deadline. So many federal agencies must suspend operations or furlough non-essential staff. Essential services typically continue, things like national defense, law enforcement, and certain health functions. But many agencies pause programs, grants, inspections, permitting, and more. In effect, the government is forced into partial hibernation until the funding impasse is resolved. Past shutdowns have ranged from just a day to weeks or more. The 2018-2019 shutdown lasted 35 days and cost billions. October 1st, 2025, at 12:01 a.m. Eastern, the federal government officially shut down. Congress had not passed the necessary appropriations or a stopgap continuing resolution. What pushed us here? Deep partisan divisions over spending levels and deficit control, proposed rescissions, i.e., the Trump administration's drive to cancel previously approved spending, debate over healthcare subsidies, foreign aid, and policy riders tied to budgets. A Congress that couldn't reach 60 votes in the Senate to pass either party's Plan 5. In an unusual twist, agencies like HUD even posted messaging blaming the radical left for the shutdown, triggering accusations of partisan misuse of government platforms. Unlike past shutdowns, the White House instructed agencies to prepare for permanent cuts and workforce reductions if funding does not return. This is a more aggressive posture than typical temporary furloughs. So, who feels the blow first? Federal workers and contractors. In this shutdown, roughly 750,000 to 800,000 employees may be furloughed or forced to work without pay. Many are essential personnel who continue working anyway, but without pay until Congress reopens the government. Contractors, support staff, service workers, cleaning, food security may be completely paused without pay. Agencies like QUD, the Education Department, the EPA, and others may suspend new grants, pause inspections, or halt permit issuance. The ripple effect. Local economies that depend on federal worker paychecks will feel stress. Less spending at restaurants, retail, transportation, and housing. In the DC metro region, this is more than theoretical. The federal sector is the engine. Many people who live in Arlington, Alexandria, Montgomery County, Fairfax, they work for the government or related contractors. Now, the question that matters to you: what happens to housing values, transaction volume, and market dynamics in DC and surrounding counties? The Washington area is uniquely exposed. Analysts estimate 14% of the metro workforce is federal. In some jurisdictions, it's even higher. 20% in DC, Arlington, and Alexandria. Here are key mechanisms through which the shutdown may hit housing. Loan delays, FHA, VA, and other federally backed mortgages may slow. Mortgages can't be processed if agencies are shuttered or underfunded. Insurance issues. National Flood Insurance Program may lapse, cutting off buyers in flood zones. Price. Demand drop. Prospective buyers employed by the government may postpone purchase decisions or cancel plans altogether. Supply increase. Sellers with pressure may list faster. People may exit the region. Home sale delays. Inspections, appraisals, if tied to federal programs, may be delayed or halted. Price softness. In areas with high federal dependency, price growth could stall or even dip year over year. Already before the shutdown, the DC area housing market was under strain, with growing inventory, slower appreciation and longer days on market. The shutdown may accelerate those trends in the near term, but it's not uniform. Areas less reliant on the federal sector may see opportunity, lower competition, more negotiating power and better bargains. And homeowners with strong equity or no immediate need to move may ride it out relatively unscathed. In short, in the Washington region, the shutdown can turn a shaky housing market into a tug-of-war between forced exits and opportunistic buyers. If you're an entrepreneur, investor, or business operator in this space, here's what to monitor and where opportunity might lie. Key metrics to watch. Furlough, layoff announcements. If layoffs become permanent, that sustainably shrinks demand. Funding extension votes. Each vote in Congress, a chance for relief or deeper impasse. Mortgage processing backlogs and lender caution, local migration patterns. Are government employees relocating out of DC to safer economic zones? Sales absorption and inventory trends in submarkets, more versus less federal-dependent strategic moves. Position in resilient submarkets, regions with diversified job bases, not solely federal reliant. Build cash reserves. Buffer for slower months. Negotiate more aggressively. Buyers may have stronger bargaining power. Consider opportunistic flips or holds. If supply rises, you might get discounted buys. Be flexible with timing. Don't rush listings while uncertainty is peaking. Communicate with lenders, partners, navigate delays proactively. Above all, treat this as a stress test. Markets will respond, and your ability to adapt, reposition, and stay liquid will define the winners. The October 2025 shutdown is more than a political spectacle. In Washington, D.C. and across the metro area, it's a ground-level stress on housing, livelihoods, and business confidence. But in turmoil lie opportunity. For those who see through the noise, act with prudence, and bet on resilience. If you want weekly insights on real estate, business, and how to navigate policy shocks, subscribe now. Drop a comment. How do you think this shutdown will reshape the DC housing market?
Your ultimate hub for real estate insights, breaking news, entrepreneurial wisdom, investing strategies, and self-development hacks. If you're ready to expand your mind and stay ahead of the game floor, you're in the right place. Subscribe now. Your future self will thank you.